Namo Sakyamuni Buddha. Today I want to talk to you about the practice of Buddhism again. The reason I insist on the practice, because practice make it good, okay? And I tell you the story about the practice of Buddhism. It's these people, they are contemporary. They are these monks, they are two lama in the Tibetan Buddhism recently. It's a true story, okay? They have two lama. One is Azo, the other one is Reto, okay? They are classmates. Reto, he's very smart, and he went to further study. So he go to Drepung school. It's like a Buddhist college. He studied very well, and he graduate valedictorian. He have a Geshe degree. In Buddhism, you have a Geshe degree like a doctor degree in Buddhist study. And you go a little bit further, you have a Lara Geshe. It's like PhD degree, a little bit higher, postgraduate. And Reto is very smart, so he studied, and he graduated. He become a very famous Dharma teacher, and become very arrogant. And so one day, he come back to see his brother, Azo. And he tell Azo, he said, I feel sorry for you. You didn't study. You didn't advance yourself. You just have a simple life of a Buddhist monk. And Azo, yes, I'm a very simple monk. I just practice it. I practice for devotion. I have nothing, I don't have the intelligence like you have to go to further study and become a famous Dharma teacher. So that's me, okay? So the other monk, Azo, is very, very humble. So they stay in the small temple. So in the temple, early morning, like Jimmy, Christopher, he come here, know that in the morning, he's the master, Quang, they get up early, they do the chanting. So Reto, he's a pretty arrogant. He said he knows everything, so he didn't wake up to do the practice. He just sleep like regular people. So Azo, he wake up early. He go chanting. He go chanting in the shrine. And Reto wake up. Hear the chanting, wake up. He see a lot of light, very beautiful. The shrine, it's illuminated. It's so pretty. And he see the halo around the body of Azo. And he get a little bit kind of scared. So after he finished, as Azo finished the chanting, the light turn off and the halo turn off. So Reto come ask Azo, he said, you have a miracle, I have a superpower. He said, no, I don't have anything. I'm just a simple monk. I practice devotion, that's all. I said, I see in the shrine when you practice it, you see a light, a lot of light around the shrine. It's illuminated in your body. I see the halo and everything. So Azo, he said this way. He said, I tell you the truth. I just practice devotion, that's all. I believe in Buddhism. I practice with love, with devotion. And that happened. I said, now I understand it. I'm a fool, okay? I thought I'm very smart. I study a lot, but I did not realize, I did not have what you realize it. I know I'm wrong, I'm arrogant, I'm a fool guy, okay? So in history, before the time the Buddha, they have a lot of disciples. Buddha have about 1,200 disciples. They're all brilliant, they're all arhat. One is attendant Ananda. Ananda is very smart, very handsome. And he have a photographic memory. Everything Buddha say, he remembered. He remembered. But when Buddha passed away, they kicked him out because he did not accomplish it. He did not get alignment. So Mahakasyapa threw him out. They said, you're not qualified to go in the council. They have a council, they review on the teaching of a Buddha. Because when you pass away, Mahakasyapa asked all the monk, all the disciple to get together to review the teaching of the teacher. So Mahakasyapa tell Ananda, even you have a photographic memory, but you're not qualified. Because I see you didn't have the merit, so they kick him out. So Ananda, he cried. He said he knows his fault. So he go in one of in the mountain, the cave. He stayed there, he meditated, he studied. About a few months later, he get out alignment. They admit him back to the council, they review it. They review everything. So recently, like Azo and Reto, the same thing happened, okay? Azo, he's a very simple monk, he's very humble. He practiced with devotion, and he accomplished it. And Reto, even extremely intelligent, he graduated valedictorian. He have a Lara Geshe degree, and he's the assistant of a Dalai Lama. And he thought he's so smart. He come back, he looked down on his brother. He said, I feel sorry for you. You didn't study, you didn't have any degree. I have all the degree. And everybody know me because I'm a famous Dharma teacher. He said, yes, you're smarter than me. I'm a simple monk. I'm a regular monk. I'm a humble monk. But really, he accomplished it. And he get alignment. But he didn't tell anybody. So when Reto, he find out in the early morning when Azo chanted, the shrine get illuminated. And he have I know that, and that's the merit he have it. He didn't tell anybody that he accomplished that because the good monk, the high monk, they're very humble. Like you see, Buddha very humble. Buddha never say, I'm a deity, I'm a godlike or something. He never say that. He said, I'm the awakened person, that's all. I'm the Buddha, you're Buddha in the future. So you see, even our teacher, our fundamental teacher, he's very humble. He teaches that. So what we learn from these two examples, that if you practice with devotion. If you love something, do it. Do it with devotion. Like a musician, the good musician, the one who loves music, they practice for himself. I hear one virtuoso in violin. He tell me, he said, he tell me I'm virtuoso. I'm not virtuoso. I practice 10, 12 hours a day. I love it. I practice it. I enjoy the music myself. I know one of the guitar teacher, his name is Pepe Romero. The family, they call it Romero, the royal family of guitarists. He taught me indirectly. I study indirectly from Pepe Romero. My guitar, I have it. Pepe Romero bought for me from Spain. He have some man, Mr. Rodriguez, Miguel Rodriguez, did it for him. He doesn't do guitar for sale for anybody. He do only for the famous people. He did for Pepe Romero 3 guitar only. It takes him 5 years to do it. So Pepe Romero bring back. When he bring back to Texas, he sell to me. I buy it for $7,500. It's very good guitar. And Pepe, he tell me, I practice every day. Sometimes I practice so much, my arm get warm. I can put the egg of the chicken, can hatch it. He said because he love it. He practice that way. So you see, anything you do with love, with passion, with dedication, you do it, you accomplish it. On the sportsmen, the same thing. The athletes, the same thing. They practice. You see, like this football player, this basketball player, they have to practice. Off season, they practice. They just don't play. Off season, they practice it. So in Buddhism, the same way. If you want to get better, you need to practice the only way you understand it and the way you love it. You don't practice it, you don't understand it, you don't love it. So some people, they study only the theory, like Ananda. They remember the theory, they become very arrogant. They said, oh, I know Buddhism. Really, they don't know it. Because they never practice. They go deep. And the teaching of Buddha is so profound. And very sophisticated, you have to spend time to study. You study it, you understand it, and you penetrate it. That's the only way. So it's very important to practice it. And I tell you, some way to practice is the mind thinking. Maybe I'm wrong, but we have 2 ways to practice. We are monk and nun. We have to study a lot because it's our profession. We have to study a lot of Sutra so we can help our member. We explain to them. But you as a practitioner, you don't have to study many Sutra. Just find some Sutra, it fits you. Some Sutra you like, it makes sense to you. Choose it and keep chanting that Sutra over and over and over. You chant it 100 times, you understand better. You chant 1,000 times, you understand better. You chant 10,000 times, you chant better. Like us, the Lotus Sutra, they have the 28 chapter, okay? So if we chant 1 chapter every day, that means a month we finish the book. And so the year, we finish only 12 times the book. So some people ask the monk, how many times you chant the Lotus Sutra? They said, 1,000 times. That means for years and years. Doesn't mean we are not smart. Doesn't mean we want to study more and more. We want to penetrate it. We want to understand more. So my advice is this one. If really you want to study Buddhism, find one sutra. There are many sutras. Each sutra Buddha want to teach something, okay? Like the Suramgama Sutra, he want to find the true self, the inner self, it's and that, okay? And if you want to study about loving compassion, get the chapter 25th of the Lotus Sutra about Avalokitesvara, okay? If you want to study the Pure Land Buddhism, study the Amitabha Sutra. It's very good because that's the progressive way to study. Because when study Zen meditation, the other one, sometimes it'll be complicated, it'll be difficult for you to do it. So if you want, you go to Amitabha Sutra. Amitabha Buddha, He's a teacher. He's very kind. He has 48 wishes. He wants to help the people so they can understand Buddhism. They can accomplish it. So what it is, the Pure Land Buddhism, it's a big school. Some people think you go to Sukhavati, you go to Pure Land, like you go to heaven. It's not. In Buddhism, we don't have a heaven. We don't have a hell, okay? They have some concept about hell, about heaven, but it's not. Because the Buddha teaches, you live in this world, it's heaven or hell. It's up to you. You have a good life. You have a virtuous life. You in heaven, okay? If you have a lot of problems, you make a lot of mistakes, a lot of evil things, you live in hell. That's right here. We don't have to go the next life to go to heaven or go to hell. Right now we have it. So the concept of Pure Land is this one. If you believe in Buddhism, you believe in Amitabha Buddha. Here the teacher, he's very kind. He wants to help. So he said, just ask him to go in his school. In his school, you get accepted. They have a lot of brother and sister, a lot of assistant to Amitabha Buddha. They assist you. They help you to study, and you advance it gradually. There are 9 steps. From grade 1 to grade 9, we advance like a first 3 grade, like elementary school. The middle one, 3 grade, like a middle school. And the last 3 grade, like high school. After that, you graduate. You graduate, you go to college. You keep study until you finish it. And you get alignment. So that is very progressive. Because in Buddhism, we have 2 ways to practice. One is sudden accomplishment. It's difficult. The people, they are gifted. They go to sudden alignment. The people like you and me, we are average. We study. So we advance progressively. We do it in progression. Gradually, we study. And we graduated. We graduated. Like in a school, okay? You see some people, they go to school, they are highly intelligent. They have a PhD degree at age 12. Or some of them, in high school, they go to college there because they're so premature. They're very, very gifted. But us, we are regular. We just go, and we finish high school. You go to undergraduate, you go to graduate school, with the postgraduate, and we finish our education. That's the normal people. So in Buddhism, the same way. We do it. Or the sudden way, sudden accomplishment, or the progressive, step by step. And so Amitabha Buddha teaches step by step. We can do it. We can do. So in Buddhism, you know that you practice Buddhism, it requires sincerity. You're sincere to yourself. You don't have to be sincere to anybody, to yourself. I love Buddhism. I want to study. I want to accomplish. Be very sincere to yourself. Study with sincerity. Practice with sincerity. You don't have to show up to anybody that I know to Buddhism. I'm a practitioner of that. No. I just love it. I do it for my own benefit. And Buddha say this one, help yourself before you help the other people. Help yourself, that means you finish the study, you benefit yourself. After you benefit yourself, you get the merit, you transfer the merit to who? To your loved one, to your family, to your father, to your mother, your brother, your sister, your ancestor. You benefit them. And the next step, you benefit the people. You don't know them really very much, your neighbor, or the people, you just wave to them. You don't know their name, but you know they are your neighbor, or they are a citizen of the city. You want to transfer the merit to them. And lastly, the people, they're not your enemy, but in the past they antagonize you, they're not nice to you, they want to hurt you directly or indirectly. You love them, you benefit them. That's the unconditional love. That universal love. That's the practice Buddhism. Because the Buddhism is a religion of love. Loving kindness, loving compassion. Loving kindness is you love the people like your own family, like your father, your mother, your ancestor, like your offspring, like your sibling. You love them. You treat everybody like your family. That's the loving kindness. Loving compassion, the people they needy, you help them. Help them with love and respect, with dignity. Then look down on them. Then say something negative. Then look down, I feel sorry for you. You know, you're lazy, you're stupid. You don't have the profession, you don't have earning capacity, so I throw you $1 or $2. Maybe you're a drug addict, you go to buy drugs. Then say that. Just help them with love and dignity. That's all you have to do it. That's the loving compassion. And that makes your life better. Love will change everything. Hatred is very artificial, okay? You watch it around. You see, love is so natural. When the kid are first born, the midwife or the doctor bring the kid, put in the belly of the mother, so they have a bonding. They have natural love. Naturally, the baby loves the mother loves the baby, the family love. That's very natural. You see the young kids, when they're young, they love each other. They play each other. They don't discriminate. They don't hate each other. They don't see the skin color. They don't see the class. They don't see the wealth, the rich or the poor. The poor kid play with the rich kid. There's no difference. When they grow up, we adult, we society, we teach them hatred. We treat them discrimination. We teach them a lot of things, bias, prejudice or something. But when they're young, they love. You see the animal too. When you raise a dog and cat, they are baby. They love each other. They don't fight. You put a young cat, one dog, they play. But when you go bigger, they try to kill each other. They bite. They do that because they grow up. They learn the bad habit. They learn bad things. When they're young, they love it. So love is very natural. Hatred is very artificial. So we go back to love. If we have love, the world is much better, much peaceful. And we have no discrimination. We have no prejudice or bias. So practice Buddhism. And you see, Buddha teaches, when you practice Buddhism, it's very open-minded. It doesn't look down on another religion. We never criticize another religion. He said, we Buddhists, we are the best, we are better religion. We never say that. We accept all the other religion. You're a Buddhist person, you can go to the Christian church, you can go to Catholic church, you can go to the Jewish, the place of worship, you can go to the Muslim place of worship. There's no discrimination. You give them the due respect. And you give them the love. That's the Buddhism, okay? And we are Buddhist temple. Some people ask them, can we come in? He said, yes. We open the door, everyone can come in. You don't have to be Buddhist to come in. If you are Buddhist, we practice first. We're not Buddhist, you can come to practice first. There's no discrimination whatsoever. The door is open, okay? We close the door, that's the temperature, the thing. But It's not locked. You can come in any time. So that's Buddhism. So I hope that when you practice it, think about that. Think about the practice. Practice with sincerity. Practice with flow. You help yourself. And after you help yourself, you can help the other people. And find one sutra, the one you can talk to the monk or the nun. We can guide you, can help you. It depends on your selection. What sutra you want to keep on that, and every day try to chant it. You don't have to do like hour a day, maybe 15 minutes, maybe half an hour. If you do 15 minutes, half an hour, it'd be the quality time. That'd be better. But do that routinely. It depends on any time. The meditation, the same thing. Meditation, some people didn't understand about meditation. He thought like you tame your body. You have to sit on the lotus position, semi-lotus position, or cross leg. No, it's not that. You try to tame your mind. You didn't tame your body. You can sit in the chair. You can lie down. You can stand up and walk around. Meditation. That you train your mind. You discipline your mind. You focus. You learn how to focus. You focus it. You concentrate it. And you practice mindfulness. It's not some people thought, I practice meditation only when I sit down on the seat and I cross legs and I meditate and close my eyes. No, you practice mindfulness all the time. That meditation. You cook, you meditate, you pay more attention, you become very mindful. So you cook very well. And the people, they eat your meals. They know it. They know you project love in there. You pay attention in there. So the seasoning is very good. The cooking is right. Okay? You pay attention. You do it with love. You cook for your family. They appreciate it. Your spouse appreciate it. Your children, they appreciate it. They know my mother, my father cook with attention, with love. And the same thing. The kids, the same thing. So if we do everything with mindfulness, we will benefit. We benefit ourselves. We benefit the other people. Like you driving too. If people, they drive, you drive with mindfulness, you become defensive driving. You don't have accident. You don't run. Sometimes, in a rush, even we do defensively, we don't run over, kill a dog and cat, because we see them. We slow down, so we don't run over to kill them. We do it because we are mindful. Everything too. So sometimes, it's that we practice repentance. Some people thought, I'm very virtuous. I never make a mistake, so I don't have to repent it. It's not true. Sometimes you step on the floor, you kill a lot of insects. It's not intentionally, not maliciously you kill it, but you do kill. So the killing is the first precept. So repent it. I said, I do it. Sometimes you see this one. Yeah, we kill some animals, some insect. You can liberate them to go to a next life. Maybe they become human being. They can elevate themselves. But intentionally, we don't want to kill. Maliciously, we don't do that. So that's the reason why I do repentance. Something like something said lying. Sometimes we live in the country, we're pretty civilized. It's a sophisticated culture. So sometimes we don't lie, but we don't want to offend somebody's their feeling. We just do it is called a white lie. Okay? They ask me something. You see this? No, I don't see it. Oh, somebody tell me something. Did somebody tell you about me about that? I said, no, I didn't hear it. Because you're courteous, you're nice. You don't want to say something not nice to the other people. But in reality, he did lie during a white light. He's still lying, but so we repented. We repented, do something that we said that now. Intentionally, I don't want to lie, Somebody asked me something, I didn't lie, but I don't want to hurt anybody's feeling. I want to be courteous, so I do it, okay? But deep down, I do a little lying, okay? So that's the way in Buddhism. Buddhism always reflects. Remember, Buddha teaches the methodology to study Buddhism. Think about that. It's very scientific, very good. First thing, reading or listening. You get on the data, on the information, but then get exit. Get with discernment, with reflection. You read it, but you have intelligence. You make a judgment to see it makes sense to you. It's ethical or unethical. If unethical, then believe it, then accept it. Even you hear monk and then say that, maybe he and she have a bias, a prejudice, then listen to them. Something is not right, then pay attention to that. Okay? And you study a little bit more to accumulate more information, because the Buddhism is very vast, very profound. Get a little bit more. And then the next step, you digest the study, you apply it. You apply what you study from the teaching of a Buddha, from the Dharma, and apply it in your life. Make your life very meaningful. Make it very pretty. Because everything Buddha teaches in the Dharma, nothing wrong. He never tell us something wrong or something not true. You can think about all his teaching, 100% true, 100% is wholesome. So we think about that, we apply in our life. It makes our life very, very pretty, very meaningful. That's the practice of Buddhism. So always practice and practice that. Don't be arrogant. Don't be that I know a lot, I know already. Oh, I read a lot of books. I go on the website, I know a lot of things about Buddhism. No, we don't know enough, because like a Mahayana, you have about 6,000 books. We spend all our life, we never finish it. Even you start from young age, you start from 6 years old up to 80, 90 years old, you don't finish it. So keep studying, okay? Don't be arrogant. Be always humble. The more the people they know, the humble they are. The people they know very little, they're very arrogant. Okay? Like Albert Einstein, he's very smart, but he's very humble. Albert Einstein knows a lot about Buddhism. He reads a lot about Buddhism. You can look at his writing. Okay? His writing, and he writes a lot about Buddhism. And he's very humble person. And you see like Dalai Lama too. He's very, very high-ranking monk, but he's very humble. I hear one time people ask him, how come you don't dress like many other monks, fancy dress? He said, no, because I don't want to be greedy. When I need the money, I have a good dress, I can sell it. I go to pawn shop, I get a lot of money. My dress worth nothing. So if I need the money, I go pawn shop, they then give me a lot of money. So it's very simple, very simple. He said, I don't need a fancy dress, I need a fancy hat or shoes or something. That's not the greed, that's all. And these people, they're very, 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 very simple. Sometimes they said he's the head of the state, because before he's the head of the state of the Tibet nation. Okay, so when he come to France, they have a red carpet for him. He doesn't go in the red carpet; he goes this side. I said, "How come he doesn't go in the red carpet?" He said, "No, I don't want to go in the red carpet. You go to the side." So when he go to have the official meal with the president of the France, he knows that the communists, the Chinese communists, they like him. So they welcome him as the head of the state. So he had on the table with the president. He said, no, we don't want to add the difficulty for the French people. So he sit another table next to that. He said, I don't want to make problem to you with the Chinese communists. So avoid the headache. See, he's very humble and very thoughtful. Okay? That's the way Buddhist people they are. Okay, they very, very humble. So study it and practice the modesty and humility. That's my talk today about the practice Buddhism. Sometimes I repent. I didn't do what I talked to that. So I tried it. I try myself. Try myself. Sometimes I tell myself, I said, I need to improve myself. Because the Buddha teaches self-improvement. You need to improve yourself. You never say that, I know enough or I practice enough to be that good. We're not good enough. We're not that way. We need to improve ourselves daily. Okay? That on the monk or nun or the practitioner, we need to improve ourselves slowly, gradually. So it's my talk today about the practice. I hope that I didn't repeat this thing for you, but we all practice with sincerity, and we will wish the best we can advance a little bit. Okay? And when you have any question, I will try to answer the question. If I have no question, we transfer merit, we go chanting. Okay? Namo Sakya Muni Buddha. Namo Sakya Muni Buddha. Namo Sakya Muni Buddha. Any positive karmic action we accomplished today, when transfer the merit to everybody, we stamp the alignment. Talk about the chanting. Sometimes the people, they think chanting doesn't have a lot of benefit. You have a lot of benefit. You chant it, you can hear your voice and hear you chanting. You concentrate, and it makes a lot of sense. So chanting is a form of meditation too. It's not meditation only. Chanting is meditation. You hear your voice, it makes sense to you, and we understand better. So chant it.
awaken from forgetfulness and transcend all anxiety and sorrow. Listen, listen, this wonderful sound brings me back to my true home. Gratitude, we offer this incense to all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas throughout space and time. May it be fragrant as earth herself, reflecting our careful efforts, our wholehearted mindfulness, and the fruit of understanding slowly ripening. May we and all beings be companions of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. May we awaken from forgetfulness and realize our true home. Incense in the censer now is burning, all the Dharma realm in every place, auspicious clouds appearing, our sincere intention thus fulfilling, as all Buddhas now show their perfect body. Homage to the incense cloud canopy, Bodhisattva and Gray Bodhisattvas. To the eternally abiding Buddhas, the supreme Dharma and sagely Sangha throughout the Dharma realm and the realm of empty space and 3 periods of time. To the fundamental teacher Shakyamuni Buddha, Maitreya, honored future Buddha, Manjushri, Great Wisdom Bodhisattva, Universal Great Conduct Bodhisattva, all Dharma guarding Deva Bodhisattvas, and the glorious mountain assembly of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. To Amitabha Buddha in the land of ultimate bliss, Avalokiteshvara, great compassion Bodhisattva, great strength Bodhisattva, earth-stored Gray Vow Bodhisattva, and the Mahasattvaya, Mahasattvaya, Mahakarunikaya, Om Sarvaravaye, Sudanadasya, Namaskritva Himamarya, Varokiteshvara Ramdava, Namo Narakendi, Hri Mahavaswami, Sarvaharhato Sobam, Ajiyam, Sarvasattva Namo Vastava Namo Vakamavatetu, Taryatha, Om Avalokilokati, Karati, Ihiri, Mahabodhisattva, Sarva Sarva, Mala Mala, Mahi Mahi Hridayam, Koro Koro Karmam, Doro Doro Vijate, Mahavijate, Dara Dara, Dirini Shvaraya, Chara Chara, Mama Vimala, Muktalehi Ehi, Shina Shina, Asham Prashari, Visha Vishram, Prashaya, Holo Holo Mara, Holo Holo Hri, Sara Sara, Siri Siri, Soro Soro, Bodhiya Bodhiya, Bodhaya Bodhaya, Maitreya, Narakendi, Drishanina, Vayamana, Swaha Siddhaya, Swaha Mahasiddhaya, Swaha Siddhayogi, Shvaraya, Swaha Narakendi, Swaha Maranara, Swaha Sirsimha Mukaya, Swaha Sarva Maha Astaya, Swaha Chakra Astaya, Swaha Padma Kastaya, Swaha Narakendi Vagalaya, Swaha Mavari Sankaraya, Swaha Namo Ratnatrayaya, Namo Arya Valokite Shavaraya, Swaha Om Siryanto, Mantra Badaya Swaha. Body is bringing morning light in concentration. My heart is at peace. A half smile is born on my lips. This is new day, and I vow to go through it in mindfulness. The sun of wisdom has risen, shining in every direction. Noble Sangha, diligently bring your mind into meditation. Namo Shakyamunaye Buddhaya, Namo Shakyamunaye Buddhaya, Namo Shakyamunaye Buddhaya. Surpass profound and wonderful Dharma is difficult to encounter in hundreds of millions of eons. I now see and hear it, receive and uphold, and I vow to fathom the Tathagata's true meaning. Namo Shakya Shakyamuni Buddha, Namo Shakyamuni Buddha, Namo Shakyamuni Buddha. Medicine Buddhas, great assembly of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Namo Medicine Buddhas, great assembly of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Namo Medicine Buddhas, great assembly of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Of the merit and virtue of the past vows of medicine master Vedurya Laita Thagata, thus I have heard how time the Bhagavan was traveling through various lands to teach living beings. He the Vesali city of extensive adornments and stayed beneath a tree from which music resounded with him. 8,000 great bhikshus and 36,000 bodhisattvas, mahasattvas, as well as kings, ministers, Brahma, lay disciples, and the rest of the eightfold division beings, both human and non-human. The immeasurable great multitude respectfully surrounded the Buddha as he preached the Dharma. At that time, the Dharma Prince Manjushri, receiving the awesome inspiration of the Buddha, rose from his seat, bared one of his shoulders, knelt on his right knee, and inclined his head, and placing his palms together, said to the Bhagavan, world honored, we wish you would speak about such dharmas as the Buddha's names, the great vows they made in the past, and their supreme merit, virtue, so that those who hear them will be rid of their karmic hindrances. This request is also for the sake of bringing benefit and joy to sentient beings in the Dharma image age. The Buddha then praised pure youth Manjushri, good indeed, Manjushri, with great compassion you now request I speak about the Buddha's names and the merit and virtue of their past vows for the sake of rescuing sentient beings who are bound up by karmic obstacles, and for the purpose of bringing benefit, peace, and joy to beings who live in the Dharma image age. Listen attentively to and reflect on them extremely well, for I will now answer you. Manjushri said, please do speak, we glad to listen. The Buddha told Manjushri, passing from here to the east beyond Buddha lands numerous as the sand in the rivers is a world called pure Vedurya. The Buddha there named medicine master Vedurya Laita Thagata, a proper and equal enlightenment, perfect in understanding and practice, well gone, one who understands the world, supreme Lord, regulating hero, teacher of gods and humans, Buddha Bhagavan Manjushri. past he made 12 great vows that enable sentient beings to obtain what they seek. The first great vow, I vow that in a future life I attain Anuttara Samyak Sambuddhi. My body will shine with dazzling light that will illumine measureless, countless, bound. My body will be adorned with the 32 heroic features and the 80 auspicious characteristics, and I will enable all beings to be as I am. The second great vow, I vow that in a future life when I attain Anuttara Samyak Sambuddhi, my body will be as bright and clear as lapis lazuli, flawlessly pure, vastly radiant, majestic with merit, virtue abiding at ease, adorned with blazing that's brighter than the sun and the moon. Beings dwelling in dark will be illuminated and will succeed in all their endeavors. The third gray vow, I vow that in a future life I attain Anuttara Samyak Sambuddhi. I will by means of limitless, unbounded wisdom and skill and means enable all sentient beings to obtain an inexhaustible supply of material necessities, so they are. The fourth great vow, I vow that in a future life when I attain Anuttara Samyak Sambuddhi, I shall lead those sentient beings who practice deviant paths to reside in the way of Bodhi, and those who travel on the vehicles of the hearer or Prateka Buddha to abide in the great vehicle. The fifth great vow, I that in a future life when I attain Anuttara Samyak Sambuddhi, I shall enable limitless and boundless numbers of sentient beings who cultivate the path of morality in accordance with my Dharma, to perfectly uphold the three clusters of precepts without exception. Should there be a violation upon hearing my name, they will regain their purity and not fall into evil destinies. The sixth great vow, I vow that in a future life when I attain Anuttara Samyak Sambuddhi, if there are sentient beings whose bodies are inferior and whose faculties are imperfect, who are ugly, dull, blind, deaf, mute, deformed, paralyzed, hunchbacked, or afflicted with skin disease, insanity, or various other sicknesses and suffering, upon hearing my name they shall all become endowed with upright features, keen intelligence, and perfect faculties, and they shall be free of sickness and suffer. The seventh great vow, I vow that in a future life when I attain Anuttara Samyak Sambuddhi, I shall call sentient beings who are oppressed by many illnesses and who are without aid, with a place to turn, without a doctor, without medicine, without relatives, and without a family, who are stricken and filled with suffering, to be cured of their sicknesses upon having my name pass by their ears, so they are peaceful and happy in body. They will have a family and relatives and acquire an abundance of property and wealth, and even realize unsurpassed Bodhi. The eighth great vow, I vow that in a future when I attain they are oppressed and disturbed by the myriad sufferings of being female. Upon hearing my name, they will be able to turn from women into men who are replete with male features and ultimately realize Answer Bodhi, the ninth great vow. I vow that in a future life, when I attain Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi, I shall liberate from the nets of demons and the bonds of heretical passive. They have fallen into the dense forests of evil views. I shall lead them to have proper views and to gradually cultivate the practices of Bodhisattva, so they will quickly realize unsurpassed, proper, and equal Bodhi, the 10th. I vow that in a future life, when I attain Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi, I shall cause sentient beings to fall into the hands of the law and are shackled, beaten, imprisoned, sentenced to execution, or subjected to endless disaster, hardships, abuse, and humiliation, so that they are torn by grief and distress and suffering in body and mind, to obtain upon hearing my name liberation from all worry and suffering by means of my blessings, virtue, and awesome spiritual power. The 11th great vow. I vow that in a future life, when I Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi, I shall cause all sentient beings who are so plagued by hunger and thirst that they create kinds of bad karma in their quest for food, upon hearing my name and single-mindedly accept and maintaining it to be filled with delicious food and drink, and afterward by means of the flavor of to settle in ultimate peace and happiness. The 12th great vow. I vow that in a future life, when I attain Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi, if there are sentient beings who are poor and without clothes, so that day and night they are troubled by mosquitoes and flies and by cold and heat, upon hearing my name and single-minded accepting and maintaining it, they shall obtain all kinds of fine and wonderful garments that accord their tastes, as well as a variety of precious adornments, flower garlands, fragrant balms, and the enjoyments of music and various kinds of talents, so that all their heart's delights will be fulfilled. Manjushri, these are the 12 that the world-honored one, medicine master, Vedurya light, Tathagata, one of proper and equal enlightenment, made while cultivating the Bodhisattva way. Moreover, Manjushri, if I were to speak for an eon or more of the great vows made by the world-honored one, medicine master, Vedurya light, Tathagata, when he practiced the Bodhisattva way, and about the merit, virtue, and adornments of his Buddha land, I could not finish. That Buddha has always been completely pure. There are no women, no evil destinies, and no sounds of suffering. The ground is Vedurya with golden cords lining the roads, the city walls, towers, palace, pavilions, studios, windows, and lattice are all made of the 7 treasures. The merit, virtue, and adornments of this land are identical to Amitabha Buddha's western land of ultimate bliss. Residing in that land are 2 Bodhisattvas, Mahas. The first is called universally radiant sunlight, and the second universally radiant moonlight. They are the leaders among the immeasurable proper Dharma of the world-honored one, medicine master Vedurya Laita Thagata. Therefore, Manjush, all good men and women who have faith should vow to be born in the Buddha's land. At the time the world-honored again spoke to the pure youth Manjushri, saying, Manjushri, there are living beings who don't distinguish good from evil, who indulge in greed and stinginess, and who know nothing of giving or its rewards. They are ignorant and unintelligent and lack the foundation. Accumulate much wealth and many treasures and ardently guard them. When they see a beggar coming, they feel displeased. When they have to practice an act of charity that does not benefit themselves, they feel as they are cutting a piece of flesh from their body, and they suffer deep and painful regret. There are innumerable avaricious and miserly living beings who hoard money and necessities that they don't use even for themselves, how much less for their parents, wives, or servants, or for at the end of their life such beings will be reborn among the hungry ghosts or animals. If they heard the name of the Buddha, medicine master Vedurya Laita Thak, in their former human existence, and they recall the Tathagata's name for the briefest moment, the evil destinies, they will immediately be reborn in the human realm. Moreover, they will remember their past lives and will dread the sufferings of the evil destinies. They will not delight in worldly pleasure, will rejoice in giving and praise others who give. They will not begrudge giving whatever they have gradually to those who come to beg. They will be able to give away their own head, eyes, hands, feet, and even their entire body, to say nothing of their money. And moreover, Manjushri, there are beings who, although they study under the Tathagata, nonetheless violate the precepts. Others, although they do not violate the precepts, nonetheless transgress the rules and regulations. Others, although do not violate the precepts or rules and regulations, nonetheless destroy their own proper views. Although neglect to learn, so they are unable to understand the profound meaning of the sutras that the Buddha speaks. Others, although they are learned, nonetheless give rise to overweening. Shadowed by overweening pride, they justify themselves and disparage others, slander the proper Dharma, enjoy the retinue of demons. Such deluded persons act on their own millions of beings to fall into the pits of great danger. These beings will drift endlessly in the realms of the hells, the animals, and the ghosts. But if they hear the name of medicine master Vedurya Laita Thagata, they will be able to renounce their evil practices and cultivate wholesome dharmas, thereby avoid falling into the evil destinies of those who have fallen into the destinies because they could not renounce their evil practices and cultivate wholesome dharmas by the awesome power of the past vows of the Tathagata. Get to hear his name for only a moment, then after they pass out of that existence, they will be reborn again as human, hold proper views, and will be ever vigorous. Their minds will be well regulated and joyful, enabling them to renounce their family and leave the householder's life. They will take up and maintain the study of the Tathagata's Dharma without any violence and extensive study, they will understand profound meanings and yet be free from overweening pride. They will not slant the proper Dharma and will never join the ranks of demons. They will progressively cultivate the will soon bring them to perfection. Moreover, Manjushri, if there are sentient beings who harbor stinginess, greed, and jealousy, who praise themselves and disparage others, they will fall into the three evil destinies for countless thousands of years, where they will undergo intense suffering. After undergoing intense suffering at the end of their lives, they will be born in the world oxen, horses, camels, and donkeys that are constantly beaten, afflicted by thirst and hunger, and made to carry the burdens along the roads, or they will be among lowly people as slaves or servants who are always ordered around by others and who never feel at ease. If such beings in their former lives as humans hear the name of the world-honored one, medicine master Vedurya Laita Tathagata, and by this good cause are able to remember and sincerely take refuge with the Buddha, then by means of the Buddha's spiritual power they will be liberated from all sufferings. They will be endowed with keen faculties, and they will be wise and learned, and will always seek the supreme dharmas and encounter good spiritual friends. They will eternally sever the nets of demons and smash the shell of ignorance. They will dry up the river of afflictions and be liberated from birth, old age, sickness, and death. Moreover, there may be beings who delight in perversity and engage in legal disputes, bringing trouble to others as well as themselves. In their actions, speech, and thoughts, they create ever-increasing amounts of evil karma. We're willing to benefit and forgive others. They scheme to harm one another. Instead, they pray to the spirits of the mountain, forest, trees, and graves. They kill living beings in order to make sacrifices of blood and flesh to the Yaksha and Rakshasa ghosts. They write down the names of their enemies and make images of them, and then names and images with evil mantras. They summon paralysis, ghosts, cast hexes, or command corpse right injure their enemies. However, if the victims hear the name of medicine master Vedurya Laita Tathagata, then all those evil things will lose their power to do harm. The evildoers will become kind to one another. They will attain benefit, peace, and happiness, and no longer cherish thoughts of malice, affliction, or envy. Everyone will feel content with what they have. Instead of encroaching upon each other, they will seek to benefit one another. Moreover, Manjushri, there may be those among the fourfold assembly of bhikshus, bhikshunis, upasakas, and upasikas, as well as the other good men and women of pure faith who accept and uphold the 8 precepts, either for 1 year or for 3 months, practicing and studying them with these good roots. Amitabha Buddha's Western land of ultimate bliss, who hear the proper Dharma, but their resolve may not be firm. However, if they hear the name of the world-honored one, medicine master Vedurya Laita Tathagata, then at the end of their lives before them will appear a great bodhisattvas, whose names are Manjushri Bodhisattva, Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva, Great Strength Bodhisattva, Inexhaustible Intention Bodhisattva, Joldudambara Flower Bodhisattva, Medicine King Bodhisattva, Medicine Superior Bodhisattva, and Maitreya Bodhisattva. Those 8 great bodhisattvas will appear in space to show them the way nation in that land amid precious flowers of Esme. Heavens due to this cause, although reborn in the heavens, their original good roots will sustain, and so they will not fall into the evil destinies again. When their life in the heavens ends, they will be born among people again. They maybe will turning kings, regaining over the Phuoc with awesome virtue and ease, bringing uncountable hundreds of thousands of living beings to abide in the practice of the 10 good deeds. Or they may be born as Kshatriyas, Brahmins, laymen, or sons of honorable families. They will be wealthy with sword, filled with overflowing, handsome in appearance. They will be surrounded by a great retinue of relatives. They will be intelligent and wise, courageous and valiant, like awesome knights. If a woman hears the names of the world-honored one, medicine master Vedurya Laitatthaka, and sincerely cherishes it, in the future she will never again be born as a female. Moreover, much when medicine master Vedurya Laitatthaka attained Bodhi by the power of his past vows, he contemplated all the sentient beings who were undergoing various kinds of sickness, suffering. Some suffered from diseases such as emaciation, atrophy, severe thirst, or yellow fever. Others were harmed by paralysis, ghosts, or by poisonous hex unnaturally when young, while others experience untimely deaths. He wishes to dispel all these sicknesses and suffer, fulfill their wishes. At the time the world-honored one, the suffering and distress of all beings, after he entered the samadhi, a great light came forth from his flesh cow. From amid the light he proclaimed this magnificent Dharani: Namo Bhagavati Bhashaja Guru Vedurya Prabharaj Tathagataya Arhate Samyak Sambuddhaya Tadyata Hom Bhashaje Bhashaje Bhashaja Samogate Swaha. Namo Bhagavati Bhashaja Guru Vedurya Prabharajaya Tathagataya Arhate Samyak Sambuddhaya Tadyata Hom Bhashaje Bhashaje Bhashaja Samogate Swaha. Namo Bhagavati Bhashaja Guru Vedurya Prabharajaya Tathagataya Arhate Samyak Sambuddhaya Tadyata Hom Bhashaje Bhashaja Samogate Swaha. All beings, sicknesses, and sufferings were cast off, and they felt peaceful and happy. Manjushri, if you see a man or a woman who is ill, you should single-minded and frequently clean and bathe him and rinse his mouth. Provide him with food, medicine, or water that of insects over any of has been recited 108 times. After the sick person has taken it, all his sicknesses and sufferings will be gone. If this person has a wish, he should recite this mantra with utmost sincerity. Then he will obtain whatever he wished for, and his life will be prolonged and free from illness. At the end of his life, he will be reborn in the Buddhas, and he will be irreversible and will ultimately attain supreme enlightenment. Therefore, Manjushri, if there are men and women with the most sincerity, diligently worship and make offerings to medicine master Vedurya Laitatthaka, they should always recite this mantra and never forget it. Moreover, Manjushri, men or women should recite and uphold them in the early morning. After brushing their teeth and bathing, they should make offerings of fragrant flowers, incense, perfume, balms, and various kinds of music before the image of the Buddha. They should personally write out the sutra or ask others to do so, and they should single-minded and constantly recite it. If they listen to explanations of its meaning from a Dharma master, they should make offerings to him of allness, so that he is without the slightest want. In this way they will receive the mindful protection of the Buddhas. All of their wishes will be fulfilled, and they will ultimately attain enlightenment. At the time the pure youth Manjushri said to the Buddha, "World-honored one, I vow that in the Dharma image age, using various expedient means, I shall enable good men and women of pure faith to hear the name of the world-honored one, medicine master Vedurya Laita Tathagata. Even during their sleep I will awaken them with this Buddha's name, world-honored. There may be those who accept and uphold the sutra, read and recite it, explain its meanings for others, write it out themselves, or tell others to write it out. They may read various flowers, paste, incense, powdered incense, stick, incense, flower, garlands, necklaces, banners, canopies, and music. They may make bags of 5-colored thread in which to keep the sutra. They may sweep clean a place and arrange a high altar on which to place the sutra. At the time the 4 heavenly kings with their retinues and other innumerable hundreds of thousands of gods will come to that place to worship and protect it, world-honored. It should be known that if in the places where this precious sutra circulates, people can accept and uphold it, then due to the merit and virtue of the past vows of the world-honored one, medicine master Vedurya Light Gata, because they have heard his name, none of those people will meet with an untimely death. In addition, none of them will be robbed of his vital energy by evil ghosts and spirits. Those people whose vital energies have already been robbed will have their health restored, and they will be happy and at peace in body and mind. The Buddha told Manjushri, so it is so. If there are good men and women of pure faith who wish to make offerings to the world-honored one, medicine master Vedurya Laita Tathagata, they should first make an image of the Buddha and arrange a pure and clear altar on which to place the image. Should scatter all kinds of flowers, burn various incenses, and adorn the place with a variety of banners and streamers. For 7 days and 7 nights they should hold the 8 precepts, eat pure food, having bathed till clean and fragrant. They should put on clean clothes, their mind should be undefiled with thoughts of anger and toward all sentient beings. They should cherish thoughts of peace, kindness, compassion, joy, giving, and equanimity, playing musical instruments and singing praises. They should serve the right of the Buddha's image. Moreover, they should recall the merit and virtue of the Tathagata's past vows. They should read the sutra, contemplate its meaning, and lecture on and explain it. They will obtain whatever they seek. Those who seek long life will attain longevity. Those who gain wealth, those who seek an official position will obtain it, and those who seek a son or a daughter will have one. Moreover, if a person who suddenly has nightmares, sees ill omens, sees strange birds flocking together, or perceives many ominous events in his dwelling, can worship and make offerings of many fine things to the world-honored one, medicine master Vedurya Laita Tathagata, then the himself on a steep cliff or in a dangerous place, or faces fierce elephants, lions, tigers, wolves, bears, poison, snakes, scorpions, centipedes, millipedes, mosquitoes, gnats, or other frightful things. If he can single-mindedly recollect, worship, and make offerings, Buddha, he will be liberated from all those frightful things. Invader, when there are thieves or riots, if a person can recollect and worship the Tathagata, then he will be. There may be good men and women of pure faith who all their lives do not worship other gods, but single-mindedly take refuge with the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. They accept and uphold precepts such 5 precepts, the 10 precepts, the 400 precepts of a bodhisattva, the 250 precepts of a bhikshu, or the 500 precepts of a bhikshuni. Perhaps they have violated the precepts they received and are afraid of falling into the evil destinies. If they concentrate on reciting the Buddha's name and worship and make offerings, they definitely will not be reborn in the 3 evil destinies. If there is a woman about to give birth who suffers great pain, if she sincerely recites his name and worships, praises, vener, makes offerings to the Tathagata, all of her, the newborn child will be sound and healthy and will have upright features. Seeing him will make people happy. He will be king and intelligent, peaceful and secure, and with few ailments, when no evil spirit to rob him of his vitality. At that time the world-honored one said to Ananda, the merit and virtue of the world-honored one, medicine master, like Tathagata, which I have just extolled, is the profound practice of all Buddhas. It is difficult to fathom and to comprehend. Do you believe it or not? Ananda said, great, truest world-honored one, I have absolutely no doubts regarding the sutra spoken by the Tathagata. Why? Because all Buddha's karmas of body, speech, and mind are pure. World-honored one, the sun and moon could fall wonderfully high, the king of mountains toppled or shaken, but the words of the Buddhas never change. World-honored one, there are sentient beings deficient in faith who hear about extremely profound practice of all Buddhas and think to themselves, how could one obtain such supreme merit and benefit merely by reciting the name of a single Buddha? Medicine master Vedurya like Tathagata, due to this lack of, they give rise to slander. During the long night they lose great benefit and joy and fall into the evil destinies where they wander ceaselessly. The Buddha Nanda, if these sentient beings hear the name of the world-honored one, medicine master Vedurya like Tathagata, and sincerely accepts and upholds it without any doubts, they cannot possibly fall into the evil destinies. Ananda, this is extremely profound practice of all Buddhas that is difficult to believe and understand. You should know that your ability to accept this comes some power of the Tathagata. Ananda, all here is solitary enlightened ones, and the bodhisattvas who have not yet ascended to the grounds are incapable of believing and understanding this Dharma as it really is. Only the bodhisattvas who are destined in one life to attain Buddhahood are capable of understanding. Ananda, it is difficult to obtain a human body. It's also difficult to have faith in and to revere the triple jewel. It is even more difficult to be able to hear the name of the world-honored one, medicine master Vedurya like Gata. Ananda, medicine master Vedurya like Tathagata, possesses boundless bodhisattva practices, limitless skillful expedience, and immeasurably vast great vows. If I were to speak extensively goes for an eon or more, the eon would soon end, but that Buddha's practices, vows, and skillful expedients have no end at the time. Assembly of Bodhisattva Mahasattva, named one who rescues and liberates, arose from his seat, bared his right shoulder, knelt with his right knee on the ground, leaned forward with his palms there, and said to the Buddha, greatly virtuous, honored one, during the Dharma image age there will be living beings afflicted with various diseases, emaciated from chronic illnesses, unable to eat or drink, their throats parched and their lips dry. Such but beings seeing darkness is gathering all around him, as the signs of death appear while laying in bed surround his weeping parents, relatives, and friends. He sees the messengers of Yama leading his consciousness before that King of Justice. Every sentient being has spirits that stay with him throughout his life. They realize every deed, both good and evil, to present to Yama, the King of Justice. At the time King Yama enters this person in order to tally his karma and mete out judgment according to his good and evil deeds. At the time, if the sick person's relatives and friends on his behalf can take refuge with the world-honored one, medicine master Yalaita Thagata, and request members of the Sangha to recite the Sutra, to light 7 layers of lamps, to hang up the 5 colored banners for prolonging life, and it for his consciousness to return as if in a dream. The person will see everything very clearly himself if his consciousness returns after 7, 21, 35, or 49 days. How from a dream, and will remember the retributions that he underwent for his good and bad karma, having personally witnessed the retribution of his own karma. He will never again do any evil, even his very life is endangered. Therefore good men and women of pure faith should accept and uphold the name of medicine master Vedurya Tathagata, and according to their capacity worship and make offerings to him. At the time Ananda asked the Bodhisattva who rescues and liberates, good man, how should we worship and make offerings to the world-honored one, medicine survey Durya Tathagata, and how should we make the banners and lamps that prolong life? The Bodhisattva who rescues and liberates, a greatly virtuous one, if there is a sick person wishes to be freed from sickness and suffering, for his sake one should accept and uphold the 8 precepts for 7 days and 7 nights, and make offerings to the Sangha of the items of food and drink and other necessities as there. During the 6 periods of the day and night one should worship, practice the way, and make offerings to the world-honored one, medicine master Vedurya Tathagata. Read and recite the Sutra 49 times, like 9 lamps, and make 7 images of the Tathagata. In front of each image place 7 lamps, each as large as a cartwheel. Those lamps would kept having 48 9 lifespans long, liberate a variety of living creatures, as many as 49 species, and the sick one will be able to surmount the danger and will not suffer an untimely death or be held by evil ghosts. Furthermore, Ananda, in the case of Kshatriya princes who are due to be anointed on the crowns of their heads, that calamity arises, such as epidemics among the population, invasion by foreign countries, rebellion within their territories, unusual changes in the stars, a solar or lunar eclipse, unseasonal winds and rains, or drought. Those Kshatriya princes should bring forth an attitude of kindness and compassion toward all sentient beings, and pardon all prisoners. They should follow earlier mentioned methods to make offerings to the world-honored one, medicine master Vedurya Tathagata. Due to these good roots and the power of the Tathagata's past vows, the will be safe and peaceful, the winds and rains will be timely, the crops will ripen, and all sentient beings will be blissful and free of disease within this country. Will Raja princes who are be anointed on the crowns of their heads will enjoy longer lives in good health, and they will be at ease and free from illness. Ananda, if the queens, the princes, the ministers, or court counselors, the provincial officials, or the common people suffer from diseases or other difficulties, they should also hang up 5-colored spiritual banners, light lamps, and keep them burning. Liberate living creatures, scatter flowers of various colors, and burn precious incense, then those people will be cured of their disease, relieved of their difficulties. And Ananda asked the Bodhisattva who rescues and liberates good men, how can a life that has come to an end be prolonged? The Bodhisattva who rescues and liberates answered, great virtuous one, did you not hear the Tathagata said that there are 9 kinds of untimely death? That is why people are exhorted to make life-prolonging banners and lamps, and to cult all kinds of blessings. Through such cultivation of blessings, they will be freed from suffering and adversity for the rest of their lives. Ananda asked, what are the 9 kinds of untimely death? The Bodhis who rescues and liberates said there were who, although not seriously ill, have neither medicine nor a doctor to treat them, or else they meet a doctor who gives them the wrong medicine. Consequently, they meet an untimely death. Some of them believe heretical views whose deviant teachers frighten them with false prophecies. Unable to set their minds at ease, they consult oracles to find out calamities are in store for them. In order to populate the spirits, they kill various creatures. They pray to earth ghosts for aid and protection. Although they wish to prolong their lives, their efforts are to no avail. They hold to wrong beliefs and perverse views, thus meet untimely death and fall into the hells, never to come out. This is the first kind of untimely death. The second kind of untimely death is to be executed at the hands of the law. The death is to hunt for sport, to indulge in drinking and lust, or to become excessively dissipated, and then to be waylaid by non-human beings, are rob one's essence and energy. This to be burned to death. The 5th is to drown. The 6th is to be devoured by wild beasts. The 7th is to fall from a steep cliff. The 8th is to be harmed by poison, incantations, evil mind, corpse raising ghosts. The 9th is to die from hunger and thirst. These are the 9 kinds of untimely deaths generally spoken by the Tathagata. There are also innumerable other kinds which cannot all be spoken of here. Moreover, King Yama keeps track of the karmic records of all the inhabitants of the world. If there are beings who are not filial to their parents, who commit the 5 rebellious acts, who revile the triple jewel, who destroy the laws of the country, violate the precepts of truthfulness, and Yama, the king of justice, examines and punishes them accordingly to the severity of their offenses. Therefore, I encourage people to light lamps and make banners, cultivate blessings, so that they suffering and misfortune. At the time, 12 great Yaksha generals were present in the assembly. They were General Kumbhira, General Vajra, General Mihira, General Andira, General Anila, General Sandira, General Indra, General Praj, General Makura, General Kinara, General Katura, and General Vikara. These 12 great Yaksha generals, each with 7,000 Yakshas, simultaneously raise their voices and address the Buddha, world-honored one. Today, by relying on the Buddha's awesome power, we are able to hear the name of the world-honored one, Medicine Master Vedurya Tathagata. As a result, we are no longer afraid of the evil destinies. All of us are mind to take refuge with the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. To the end of our lives, we vow to support all the beings and to benefit them, so that they live in peace and happiness. And whatever cities, villages, countries, or secluded forests the Sutra circulates, or where people accept and uphold the name of Medicine Master Vedurya Tathagata and venerate and make offerings to him, we together with our retinues will guard and protect them, delivered all mistress and fulfill all their wishes. If a person wishes to dispel illnesses and difficulties, he should read or recite this sutra. Tie a 5-colored thread into knots forming the letters of our names. He should untie the knots when his wishes have been fulfilled. At the time the world-honored one prays, good indeed, mighty Yaksha generals, all of you who want to repay the kindness of the world-honored one, medicine master Vedurya light Tathagata should always bend beings and bring peace and happiness to them. In this way, then Ananda said to the Buddha, world-honored one, called this teaching, how should we uphold it? The Buddha told Ananda, this teaching is called the merit and virtue of the past vows of medicine master Vedurya light Tathagata. It's also called 12 spiritual generals' vows to use spiritual mantras to benefit living beings. It is also called eradicating all karmic obstacles. You should uphold it in this way when Shakyamuni Buddha is speaking. All the bodhisattvas, mahasattvas, great hearers, kings, ministers, brahmins, lay people, devas, nagas, yakshas, gandharvas, asuras, garudas, kimnaras, mahoragas, human beings, and all the great assembly, on hearing what the Buddha has said, were greatly delighted. They received it with faith and respectfully practiced it. Namo medicine master Vedurya light Gata. Namo medicine master Vedurya light Tathagata. Namo medicine master Vedurya light Tathagata. To the Bhagavan with equal compassion for all whose name when just heard dispels the lower realm suffering, dispeller of disease and the 3 poisons, I prostrate to medicine master Vedurya light Tathagata. To the Bhagavan with equal compassion for all whose name when just heard dispels the lower realm suffering, dispeller disease and the 3 poisons, I prostrate to medicine Buddha Vedurya light Tathagata. To the Bhagavan with equal compassion for all whose name when just heard dispels the lower realm suffering, dispeller of disease and the 3 poisons, I prostrate medicine Buddha Vedurya light Tathagata. The medicine Buddha mantra, Namo Bhagavate Bhashaja Guru Vedurya Prabharashaya Tathagataya Arhate Samyak Sambuddhaya Taryata Hom Bhashaje Bhashaje Bhashaja Samogate Swaha. Namo Bhagavate Bhashaja Guru Vedurya Prabharashaya Tathagata Hate Samyak Sambuddhaya Taryata Hom Bhashaje Bhashaje Bhashaja Samogate Swaha. Namo Bhagavate Bhashaja Guru Vedurya Prabharashaya Tathagataya Arhate Samyak Sambuddhaya Taryata Hom Bhashaje Bhashaje Bhashaja Samogate Swaha. Bodhisattva Avalokita while moving in the discourse of Prajna Paramita shed light on the 5 skandhas and found them equally empty. After this penetration, he overcame ill-beingness and Shariputra. Form is emptiness, emptiness is form, form is not other than emptiness, emptiness is not other form. The same is true with feelings, perceptions, mental formations, and consciousness. Listen, Shariputra, all dharmas are marked with emptiness. They are neither produced nor destroyed, defiled nor immaculate, neither increasing nor decreasing. Therefore in emptiness there is neither form nor feelings, no perceptions nor consciousness, no eye or ear or nose or tongue or body or mind, no form, no sound, no smell, no taste, no touch, no object, realms of elements, no interdependent origins, and no extinction of them, no ill-being, no cause of ill-being, no end of ill-being, and no path, no understanding, no attainment, because there is no attainment. The Bodhisattva's ground in Prajnaparamita find no obstacles for their minds, having no obstacles. Fear liberating themselves forever from illusion and realizing perfect nirvana. All Buddhas in the past, present, and future arrive at Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi. Therefore one should know that perfect understanding is the highest mantra, the unequaled mantra, the destroyer of ill-being, the incorruptible truth. The mantra of Prajnaparamita should therefore be proclaimed. Gate gate para gate para samgat bodhi swaha gate gate para samgate bodhi swaha gate gate para samgate bodhi swaha. Refuge in the Buddha, the one who shows me the way in this life. I take refuge in the Dharma, the way of understanding and of love. I take refuge in the Sangha, the community that lives in harmony and awareness. In the refuge of Buddha, I clearly see the path of light and beauty and of dwelling in the refuge of Dharma. I learn to open many doors on the path of transformation. Dwelling in the refuge of Sangha, shining light that supports me, keeping my practice free of obstruction. Refuge in the Buddha, in myself I aspire to help all people recognize their own, realizing the mind of love, taking refuge in the Dharma. In myself I aspire to help all people fully master the way, practice and walk together on the path of liberation, taking refuge in the Sangha. In myself I aspire to help all people build fourfold communities to embrace all being and support their transformation. paths to benefits without limit. We vow to share the fruits with all beings. We vow to offer tribute to parents, teachers, friends, and numerous beings who give guidance and support the